Hello, welcome to Casual Veteran Gamer, and in the video today we are looking at a Wood Elf rogue named Tavolas from the forest called Tavwood, which is a rival wood to Mirkwood. He's trying to outdo some sort of prince from there. Right, race, Wood Elf. Couple of reasons. One, we get fleet of foot, extra 5 foot movement speed, which will really help us, and dexterity +2. The extra proficiency in stealth is also very nice. For appearance, it's head 5, hair 10, and whatever colour you want. Class, rogue. Skills come straight to these. We want to be having a high acrobatics and athletics to try and make sure that we don't get shoved too much in combat, and with the athletics, maybe slightly better at shoving. Investigation is sleight of hand. All the others come from the background, which is folk hero, or from being a wood elf. For ability points, I've maxed out dexterity at 17, constitution at 14. Then I put everything else in strength. I like having the highest strength when we've got some stats to spare because of the carry weight. Also will help with jumping. Maybe we can increase this 13 and 17 later as well. The idea behind this rogue is to have lots of attacks with bonus actions, have many bonus actions, and stacking as much damage as we can onto those particular bonus actions. The only thing to look out for on the Nautiloid are corpses that carry short swords to replace any daggers you find at first. So we're at level 2 on the Nautiloid just before we leave, and for rogues there's nothing to choose at all at level 2. So we got to level 3 already after killing all the Cambions on the Nautiloid. We get the choice of subclass of Arcane Trickster or Thief. You are going to pick Thief to use this build. If you're going to pick Arcane Trickster, it's not going to be quite as effective. I mean, pick what you want. I'm not here to completely tell you what to pick and what not to pick, but really, honestly, Thief, we want as many bonus actions as we can here. Gale here is kindly spoken, not of noble blood. He's fine to take with you. And actually, speaking of Gale, it's probably worth picking up Longstrider, just in case you want to cast it on your Thief. And then at level 3, when we get level 2 spells, we're going to give them Enlarged/Reduce to try and start stacking up weapon damage on their offhand attack. One thing I wanted to show off is that if we take a Potion of Speed, I've set things up nicely here. When we crouch, we can get a sneak attack, because we've got advantage, let's say, against Mary. Then we can walk up to Hesade and use our melee sneak attack when we're really only supposed to get 1 sneak attack per round, but this only works if you use a Potion of Speed. This doesn't work under normal circumstances because both of these use an action. I also probably wouldn't have used it in this particular situation normally because I'm going to wipe these guys out no problem. Gloves of Power will be a good choice here. You will be able to go around tagging enemies, trying to get Bane on them with hopefully many attacks per turn if that is your wish. Tavolas here will do anything to show up his distant cousin who can surf down a shield and shoot 3 arrows at once. So although Tavolas here is generally quite power hungry for items to make him better than his cousins from Mirkwood, he's still a folk hero. He's not an evil person per se. And he can smell a bugbear at the top of the tail. He can see one using his Tav vision. Gale here is going to help him out, but he's going to make it up there all by himself. So let's start with a dash in case this makes a difference. Love that thumping sound with an enlarged character running along. So we've got a surprise bugbear. You might be mightily surprised. Going to hide just for the advantage so we can use sneak attack. Doing a very decent, respectable 18 damage. I could have shoved there, especially being enlarged. She's going to run away. Oh no. That's quite brave of her. That's not on me. Then, in all honesty, it seems like a done deal. 84% chance to shove. It's because of a half-decent strength, proficiency in athletics, and advantage from being enlarged. However, just want to show off the melee prowess there. That looked like quite a lot of damage to me. Yeah, 19, not bad. Not bad at all. We'll take that poison, thank you very much. So maybe you can start to get the idea of what I'm going to be aiming for. We're only level 3 here. Once we get to level 4, into the Githyanki Patrol is when the big numbers start rolling in. We will be wanting to get inside this gilded chest, inside the owlbear nest. Tavolas here isn't one for going to kill random animals, wild animals, so he's not going to be taking on the owlbear. To get into this chest, you need to find this prayer sheet. Pick it up. It's not really just an old prayer. Go stand next to the chest. And then read the prayer sheet. And when you come out here, it's unlocked. Open it up, and we find the handcrafted pendant. When the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they don't provoke opportunity attacks. You can pick up a few other items here as well. This is going to be our first permanent item. This will be quite important later on. Do not forget that Tavolas is still a wood elf from Tavwood, has had many bad dealings with goblins and goblin kind, and will take any opportunity to rid the world of goblins and those that follow them and lead them. Make sure you get Crusher's Ring one way or another. He wants to be as fast as possible. So Crusher's Ring increases your movement speed, which along with being a wood elf and having long strider is going to make his movement speed rather high. The most essential item probably for this build is the Helmet of Grit to get the extra bonus action. So thieves already have one extra bonus action, but having 2 extra bonus actions, it's going to be able to get up to quite some tricks is this Tavolas dude. Make sure you get Leviathar's Blessing. Also pick up the Ritual Dagger. It will let you control when you get to below 30% or 50% hit points. Also, if you do hit with it, it gives you Bless for 1 turn, so it's not such a bad choice to put in your main hand. Make sure you get the brand from True Salt Gut. Okay, so we're at level 4. You could put Dexterity up by 2 to make your Dexterity 19, and then with Auntie Ethel's hair, you could make that up to 20. Good, solid choice. One other choice that you could use for Tavolas here is Magic Initiate Warlock. Not necessarily for the cantrips. He'll take friends because he's not actually so good at social interactions at the moment. Maybe we can go for Minor Illusion. The important thing here is Hex. One other good choice would be Mobile. Gives you an extra 10 feet of movement speed, and if you make a melee attack, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from your target, which is very strong. However, with the necklace he's wearing, we will be spending most of our time below 50% hit points anyway, so we won't be having opportunity attacks against him. If you weren't wearing the necklace, Mobile would be a very strong contender, but we want to be stacking damage, so we're going to go with Hex. So let the hag take away Mayrina. It is our choice. Keep the girl, I'll take the power. This is the easiest way out. So what we want to choose is the one for Dexterity, Wisdom, Strength, Constitution, Dexterity. Here we are. So we look in our inventory. And the rogue here has got the +1 bonus to Strength. We'll give that to Lazel. And we got the +1 bonus to Dexterity. The rogue will take that and eat that. Yes, we'll give that to Lazel at the same time. Look at her carry weight now, 400 pounds. Our rogue has a Dexterity of 18, which is brilliant. The armor class is now up to 16, which is okay. It's not good for tanking, but it's good enough for someone who's going to be running around in and out. And we've just got one more thing to go and get before our build is complete, which is a certain short sword that maybe some Githyanki might be holding. Tavolas wants to be the best at sleight of hand as he can possibly be. He's probably going to be wearing the smuggler's ring, extra stealth, extra sleight of hand, trade off his -1 charisma. Tavolas isn't the most charismatic person, never will be. Give up the ring of poison resistance. There we are. Let's have a quick check of our bonus here now. Sleight of hand and stealth at +8 each, which is pretty high because we can have guidance on top of that and advantage in different situations, especially with the level 2 enhanced ability spell. So I'm towards the end of the Githyanki fight. I have picked up for Tavolas a Githyanki short sword, which I've also poisoned, also cast Hex on this Githyanki raider, and I've also enlarged him. And I only get 1 shot at this, so I've only got 1 bonus action left this turn. But there we are. Let's have a look at that damage. So got 1d6 from the short sword, 1d4 from being enlarged, another 1d4 from being poisoned, an extra 1d4 from the psychic damage, and an extra 1d6 from Hex. Altogether 5, 7, 9, 14. Not bad. And if this fight lasts another round, in fact, let's make it last another round. Oh, we've lost enlarged, which is a bit sad, but we can just start swiping away with our offhand attack. Going to be no problem. So there we have started to stack up lots and lots of sources of damage. The main downside to this build is that if you kill an enemy, it can take an extra bonus action to cast Hex. You've got to find either poison or a source of fire. If you carry a candle around, you can dip your weapons in fire. You do need your rogue at a low number of hit points to be certain you've got the extra 1d6 damage here. But if they're in that much trouble, they can run away because this necklace lets them run. Their movement speed is high. And this guy's going to be really good at focusing down on a single enemy. One last discussion about the items that we equip on Tavolas here. So the main choice you need to make is what weapon you put in the main hand. I like having the Ritual Dagger here because when you hit with it, you give yourself Bless for the turn, which then makes your 3 bonus attacks more likely to hit. Of course, you could argue, quite rightfully, that Shadowheart can cast Bless for you. However, she can also put up Invoke Duplicity, which gives you advantage, which is probably better than Bless. Also, by keeping this dagger equipped, you can use the Blood Sacrifice at the beginning of the day to reduce your hit points to whatever you want it to be, normally below 50% hit points, or below 30% hit points to get Leviathar's love. Another good candidate is the Short Sword of First Blood from down in the Underdark, or a Short Sword +1 to make your main hand attack more likely to hit for the sneak attack. There's not necessarily one clear winner here, but I would say either Ritual Dagger, maybe you want another Githyanki Short Sword for a bit of extra damage, Short Sword of First Blood, maybe Short Sword +1. So I'm about to start a fight with Polma here. I've already got Tavolas Enlarged, but only 4 turns of it left. His weapons have been dipped in fire. I'm going to start with a sneak attack, so it's probably going to do the most damage. I'm going to be surprised, and then we've got several choices here. What I'm going to start off with though is Hex. I can't sneak attack. I don't want to use a bonus action to hide just for sneak attack, so I'm just going to dual wield attack. And then I've got one more offhand attack. Within 2 turns, I've reduced Polma from 75 down to 11 hit points. Yes, I surprised her, which is obviously going to help a lot. If we can get all of our attacks against one enemy, we're going to reduce them to low hit points very quickly. And now, because of the high movement speed, Polma's not going to be able to do anything. On a turn, she'll probably dash towards us. I've got my other characters. They've been buffing Tavolas, so he hasn't been soloing this truly anyway. Sadly, my weapons have run out of the fire damage. I could dip the weapons, but at this point, just keep doing offhand attacks, and all this the damage just stacks up really quickly because we get so many attacks. Tavolas here is something of an, I could call him an assassin. As I mentioned earlier, if you carry a candle around with you, you can dip your weapons in a candle, no problem. I can see there's a Minotaur in the background, and since we're here, you can get the whole party doing it. Now, we can see there's actually a bit of a bug here, because Tavolas has 2 bonus actions. He's at 50% hit points, 18 out of 36, that's exactly 50%. The Helmet of Grit says when the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they have an additional bonus action, but he doesn't. As soon as he goes below that, he will, and it is still bugged that sometimes when you go above 50% hit points, you still have 3 bonus actions. So it's bugged in more than one way. To try and make sure we get that extra bonus action, take a bit of damage, dip our melee weapons. We can get Gale to Enlarged Tavolas. This build does require preparation to use most effectively. Still be fine without all of this preparation. I'd say as a minimum, get Tavolas below 50% hit points. Not going to try and surprise anyone. I haven't actually given him Long Strider. He is going first, but let's get everyone else going as well. Unfortunately, I can't get the other characters to cast anything or do anything. So we're going to run up. And if you're feeling in danger, you can just dash out of there. 75% chance to hit. I'm not going to be able to get sneak attack without crouching and hiding. I'm not going to do that this turn. Oh, I happened to miss. But we still did 4, 7, 9, 15 damage for just one offhand attack. His hit points are a bit low. We don't always have to be worrying about doing damage. We can dash all the way back here. Alright, now I'm a bit lucky here because all my characters are going at the same time. So Shadowheart can, in fact, put up Invoke Duplicity somewhere close by to the Minotaur, and Tavolas. Tavolas doesn't really need anyone else to help him, maybe. Start with a sneak attack. Critical hit as well. Which then gives him Bless, so his 3 offhand attacks, 98% chance to hit. No way this Minotaur is going to survive. And one good thing is if you've got lots of enemies, you can actually just get Tavolas here to go and shoot the hand crossbows at 4 different enemies, potentially inflicting Bane. So if the unthinkable happens, Tavolas gets knocked down, it's good to have Shadowheart around and raise him back up. And even if he doesn't have his action, he's still got 3 bonus actions that he can use. Start off with a Hex. And if you're a bit worried, you can do things from ranged. We've got a +2 high ground, and most of the damage is there, although they don't get the psychic damage. Or if you're feeling brave, just get in there. Don't see how it's obscured by shadows. But now it's got Bane. It's already frightened, so it's going to be walking away. It's doing very well there with opportunity attacks. And this time, he gets an action as well. Target's obscured by shadows. That's a tad annoying, considering that the elf has dark vision. I think the best they can do really is just negate that. Get a sneak attack in. Didn't work, never mind. One thing to bear in mind, which I haven't really shown in the video, is if you have an enemy asleep with all these, they're all going to have a critical hit. All these damages will get rolled twice. That'll be 2d6, that'll be 2d4, that'll be 2d4, and that'll be 2d6 plus 2d4, and with a sneak attack, we plus another 4d6. So do let me know if I've actually missed out any sources of damage that we can add to Tavolas here. I think he feels proud enough now that he thinks his elven brethren from Mirkwood, good old Legolas, is beneath him now. Feels more powerful. He's only level 4. He's doing loads of damage. Let me know what you think of the build, what you would change for the build. Would you pick a different feat? Would you stick with Hex? If you made it this far, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.